We'll get going, everyone. I know your time is so valuable, and 7 o'clock on a Thursday is kind of tough. So I want to thank you for getting on this evening. I actually, I don't get nervous very often, but I was kind of nervous for tonight. And it's just, I want to tell you, it's an honor to serve Partum this school year. And I've been in the school district now. It seems weird, but this is my 10th year. And I've been at, I started with Silvercrest and Victor Point, and then I've been at Victor Point and Evergreen for the last 6 years. And I get the privilege of being at Victor Point, Evergreen, and Partum this year. And I'm so looking forward to the opportunity to meet some new families and a new staff. I can already tell you, your staff of teachers and classified support staff are so amazing. We had a full meeting this week before they were even supposed to come back next week, and they're gung-ho and they're here to serve you. I can tell that 100%. And that's the way I look at it, is we are definitely servants for the Partum community and your kiddos. And so excited to be here, and I'm excited. I wish we could do this in person. But this is kind of how we're starting the school year, with some town halls and seeing if we can answer any questions for you or make you feel any better about the start of the school year. I know that probably the last year and a half has been my toughest year and a half in education that I've ever had. And every day I get up, I've loved my job and I've loved everything about it. It's been such a blessing for me to be a part in education. And the last year and a half's been a blessing, but it's been a harder blessing. And I know it's been harder for you and our kids. And I just feel bad for everyone that we've kind of had to navigate this storm and keep trying to educate our kids. So I can tell you that we're going to do everything we can this year to make it the best year for your student and your students. And again, we're servants of you, and we're going to work our tails off to make it the best year we can. I'm super excited that we're going to start 5 days a week in person. I could, of course, we'll talk a little bit about, what school looks like and masks and all that kind of stuff. But bottom line is, we want our students in front of our teachers. It's so hard any other way. And so we feel blessed that we get the opportunity to be back in regular school with our classes full, masks or no masks. We're super excited about that, and we're going to have an amazing year. So if there are any questions as we go, there's a little chat thing down at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to write a question at any point tonight. Like if we're just going through and I'm talking and you're like, ooh, I got a question about that. Just write that down, and then at the very end, we'll answer every question you have. And if we can't, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And if it's like a more broad question, it's timing and we have to wait, I'll let you know that. But we'll get right back to you. And I can't tell you I can answer every question, but I'll sure try. And our staff, at any point, this community and school better than I do. And so please step up and talk at any point. So I could misguide something, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm just going to kind of take you through a little bit of what I had for tonight, and then we can finish with any questions that you have. Okay. Got my dog here chomping on a bone, and she's loud, so I hope you don't hear all that. Jeez. Okay. Can you see that? Okay, great. So we're just going to review just some school information to start the year, maybe some questions that you had. Hopefully we can answer that. And then just what school will look like. And then we're going to finish just with some important dates. So the school hours have changed slightly by about 10 minutes. So the school hours is 7:45 to 2:15. And that is our new school hours. School hours have actually kind of adjusted around the district, and kind of the outlying schools have went earlier, 8 to 2:30, and the in-town schools have been later, starting almost at 9. That's kind of twofold. One, I think it has to do with busing and being able to stagger that and get kids everywhere. I would say that's a lot of it, but there's been a lot of research around older kids and starting a little later and younger kids a little earlier. So I think that's kind of twofold why the times across the district have changed a little bit. But we are 7:40 to 2:15, and we'd love our students to arrive right about 7:40. Our teachers walk in the door at 7:30, and we just need like a few minutes to get moving and get going. And then, 7:40 would be awesome, because we start right around 7:45. We can gather our students, we can have morning circles, we can do all the things that we do. But anything too much earlier would be harder to manage. But I get all the parent things and everything that we need to do to get our kids to school. So we're flexible as well. Bus riders and car riders, our buses use the pull through in front of the big room for both the AM drop off and PM pickup. And parents can use that pull through in front of the little room or the parking lot to deliver or pick up. And so, but all of our students will enter through the gate between the gym and the school. And so that's a little bit of the rival dismissal. Staff, do you want to say anything to that?
We're probably back to the old dismissal of dismissed right out the front doors. True?
Yes.
Yeah. So they arrive through the gate, but they're going to be dismissed the old way.
But as far as the parents driving through and picking up, they still can use the parking lot and the drive-through in front of the little room, because the bus will take up the big room spot.
Busing, we are sharing, usually we share with Evergreen, but we're sharing with Central Howell this year. And so any busing needs you have, I know that Shauna's done a lot of that and worked and coordinated all the bus stops but anything that needs coordinated or you need, Shauna can help you with. The routes will be posted, finalized by August 30th. We know that's last minute, but usually busing is always last minute. But those routes, that's the kind of where you can go and find your pickup drop or your pickup times and everything you need there. So that's just a little bit of information about busing, but we can help you with any needs you have. We do have, and it's kind of exciting. I don't know if you'll all think it's exciting, but we kind of have a new lunch opportunity for our students at Partum, something they haven't had in the past. There is a new, it's not new, it started last year through COVID, but it's continuing through this year. And it's a new free lunch program, and it's free to all students in our school. Any day they would, if that's something your family chooses, the lunch is brought from Silverton High School to Partum School. They do an amazing job of keeping it warm and heated. Everything's ready to eat when it arrives at our school. And so it's just a lunch option for you and your family. It's a kind of a sack lunch. It comes with a vegetable, a fruit. It comes with a hot lunch item. If you don't want the hot lunch item, it can be a PB&J or a cold sandwich, and it comes with a milk. But it's kind of a cool option. Evergreen actually started it last year, and the families really enjoyed it. I know we love to get up and make lunches for our kids every day. It's a lot of fun, or having your kids make them. A lot of you are probably smarter than me, but I never did that, and I always made them. And it got to be a part where I kind of dreaded the morning. But you can actually just send your kids to school and say, I want them to eat this hot lunch, and it'll be there and they can eat it. And it's actually, the kids at Evergreen really liked it. And we got a lot of positive feedback from it. So if that's something you wanted to pursue, great. But it's something like from the family, we either need a yes or no from, because it can't be like every day something different. No, I'm going to send a cold lunch today, but a hot lunch tomorrow. It doesn't really work that way, because you got to coordinate it, and we got to have them deliver it every day. So it's either got to be we're in or out on that. So if that makes sense. it'll be kind of important for our numbers. So we will be putting feelers out. Teachers will be discussing that with you as parents at home, if that's something you would like. And, you know, you could always try it and then just say, hey, we're done. We'd rather go, but it can go both ways. So don't feel like, hey, I can't try it. If it's something you want to try, go for it. We can.
Or if they decide later, we could probably add them in.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Where was I going? Sorry, I had something. I lost it.
Okay.
I'll think of it.
Well,
I asked a question in chat.
Oh, I know what it was. The first week we talked about we wouldn't be doing it the first week. Is that right? We're just going to get coordinated the first week and start the second week.
exactly.
Is that right?
That is
Okay.
correct.
So I just want to make sure you send lunch with your kids the first week because we'll do it the second week.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's a great thought. And then I'm just throwing this out there because our food service has asked me to kind of just get feelers out there. Like any probably profession right now, people are down employees, and our food service is definitely down employees right now. And so they're a little worried about like how they're going to get food to all the schools every day and all that kind of stuff. We'll get it there, trust me. But if we had a parent volunteer that would be interested, I don't know why you would, but you might, and it would be great. They're asking if we would have a volunteer that would be willing to go to the high school, pick it up and bring it to Partum each day. But again, they said, if you don't, of course, we're going to get it to you. So no worries either way, but I thought I'd make a pitch for that. And some people have that time in their day and would like to serve in that manner. So I threw that out there. Technology, this is a big difference than the past, and it's kind of a district-wide K-12 this year that our district is asking all of our students to bring devices home every day. So just because you're bringing the device home every day doesn't mean they have to get into their backpack and use it. So at my house, I am tired of my kid on their device all day. So at home, that's family time, it's home time, it's, you know, we try to do that. So I just want you to know we're asking kids to bring them home and back. We could have a lot of quarantines. We never know if we might get shut down, who knows, those kind of things. But we want our kids and parents in a habit of packing home and bringing back and just making that part of their routine daily. We're going to send all chargers home, and just so they can charge them at home and have them come back each day ready for the day. We will have extra chargers and different things at our school in case a kid forgets to charge up, or let's just say they forget a device at home. We'll have an extra device at school for them. But for the most part, we're just going to try to get in the routine of home and school back and forth because we don't know what the year brings. So I know a lot of you are saying, I don't want that thing at my house. I get it. But that's district-wide K-12. That's what we're asking all of our kids to do this year. So even our little kinders and iPads and first graders and second graders getting used to that. So I've had some questions around like, what if we do get shut down? Like how is your school going to respond? Just know that we'll always have a plan B. We'll always be ready for a 10-day quarantine or whatever that might be. Our teaching staff will, whether it be K2 Seesaw, Google Classroom, Seesaw, you know, whatever that might be, we'll have ways to instruct, push out, give lessons, and communicate if that was the case. We'll start that from day one so that we're prepared and ready. And what the last year and a half has told us, you know, our educators have gotten so many tools in the toolbox that we'll be ready for anything this year. So I just wanted to make a little pitch there. Our kiddos will have a great music and art opportunity this year. It'll kind of happen maybe in units or chunks, but Julie and Angela with art and music. And so we're going to have some great options for our kids for some music and art as the year goes. I don't know if staff wants to talk much about that. I'll give it a minute.
Well, we could it's more like an artist in residence model because Julie did finally retire. good. But she still wants to come back, but just as like 2 weeks at a time or 3 weeks at a time. And then we're going to intersperse that with art a little bit. And I know that there will be the question about whether we're doing a play or not. And she's totally up for that if the parents want to hire her like in that coaching model that we did before. So that's all still on the table there. And she did say she would also be happy to run the talent show at the end of the year. So your kids can start practicing.
Yeah, along with, what did she say, a Veterans Day program and a Christmas holiday program as well.
Right.
So
Sort of scaled down. We don't know what it'll look like, but it's we're in there.
yay.
So kind of what will school look like? Again, I don't know how it'll look a little bit like last year, similar to last year, but really we're looking at regular school wearing masks. We're looking at full classrooms. We're looking at trying to keep kids 3 feet apart at all times and when appropriate, when we can. We're keeping kids safe. We're sanitizing. Our school's never been so clean. We're sanitizing. Kids are washing hands. We're washing tables after we use them. We'll have a sanitation station as they enter our school. But our ventilation has all been improved throughout our school. We have certain air conductors in classrooms. But I really feel good about where we are and what we've learned through the COVID process, and, you know, areas where we've went and not went. So I feel like we have a really good feel on how to keep kids safe and healthy. Of course, you're not gonna, you know, stop everything, but you know, that's kind of where we are. We are dictated by the state of Oregon, how we go about our day. So Oregon Department of Education, OHA, and the Governor Brown dictate and tell us what the laws are, and we have to abide by those laws. So we will be to the T of how we handle things, but just know that kids will have mask breaks, they'll have water at their desks, they'll have snack time, they can, anytime that they need a break, we'll figure it out for them. You know, tomorrow the orders are going for outdoor masks and big, large groups and different things in the state of Oregon. Just know that doesn't go for K-12 education. So when our kids go outside for recess, they do not have to wear masks. They can if they would like, but there's no masks outside. For recess, for activities, we can bring our PE classes outside, especially to start the year, the first couple months. We're going to try to get kids outside. We'll have learning environment outside and give them every opportunity to take those masks off during the day. But indoors, masks are required at all times. And we'll all abide by that, and we'll make sure we keep everyone safe.
Is that true for PE if they're actively engaging in activity that they have to have their mask on?
I'm trying to sort that out. I had 3 PE teachers send me this thing today that kind of, we're trying to interpret that rule, you know, exactly what that means. Indoors, I've always been told yes, whether it be PE or education, but then now there's this new physical activity coming out where kids shouldn't be. So we're still trying to interpret that, but that's a good question.
My kids do
Yes, I think,
gymnastics, and I don't know if it's because it's private or whatever, but they're saying because it's a sport, they don't have to wear them.
Okay.
But I don't know how it's going to change.
Yeah, we'll get an interpretation on that, make sure that we follow everything we need, but
Yeah,
PE's,
volleyball is saying that too. As long as you're playing, it can be off.
yeah, volleyball, we're good without after school for sure.
But it looked like the spectators, if spectators are allowed, they'll be masked up. People
Yes,
who come into our school who aren't playing, right? And I want to make sure that we just remember about face shields, that that is not a, you know, you can't just switch out that. It's just remember, it was like last year, you've got to go through school nurse and doctors and, you know, masks and face shields, and they aren't interchangeable. So just to make sure.
Thank you for that.
Can you go back one? Am I reading it right that if someone is exposed to I can't see the bottom sentence now. Someone's exposed to somebody who's diagnosed with COVID, they do not have to quarantine.
Yeah, that's a big change actually. And so I'm glad you brought that up. And I'll just read it to you. It is important to note that based on the updated rules, students and staff that wear proper face gear all day, that maintain the 3-foot distance all day, will not have to quarantine, because, they would send full classes home or full buses home or full, but if we've really done due diligence and we've been really solid with those rules and we can say, yes, we've been great, then the whole 10 kids don't have to quarantine if the one were to get it. And those are all nursing decisions, like our district nurses make those calls on all of those things. So that's kind of not a school-based decision. Like I would never just say, hey, the nursing department, they make all of those calls and talk to parents and talk to kids and interview staff. And it's pretty in-depth process, but yeah.
Since you touched on that, Jamie, the nurses just recently pushed out a file to send out to all the parents that have, updated questions about nursing, updated guidelines about nursing. And so I was going to put that out on Parents Court tomorrow. So look for that and open it up and read through it. And that's the most current information we have.
And I know you guys get inundated with Parent Square throughout the year, and it's like, oh my gosh, another email, and you just hit delete. But I would encourage you, like if Partum School sends you a Parent Square, whether it be a teacher or myself or Shauna, like just skim it at least and take a quick look at it, because we try not to send stuff that doesn't matter. And it's really our one communication tool to our parents other than a phone call or a quick other way we email. So, I try to never send something that doesn't matter and try to make it meaningful every time we send you something. So.
A follow-up question. I'm so sorry. If there is a positive case, let's say in the middle room, will parents be notified so that parents can make the decision to either keep their kids home for 2 weeks or 10 days, whatever it is, or will we not be notified at all?
There was such good notification last year. Like, I think I got notified every day at the high school there was a COVID case, and like something, I got so sick of seeing them, but I hear what you're saying. Like, if someone in my classroom got it, will I be notified? If you were in direct contact and a nurse felt like they make that call and they do a great job. They let a parent know and they over communicate with parents on that. So I would tell you yes.
I think I saw something on there on that letter about notification. So maybe if we all comb through that nursing thing that just went out yesterday, I think it said something about that. It listed all their protocols.
So take a look through that when Shauna sends that out tomorrow and see if you're comfortable with that, and come back and follow up with questions on that. We can have a call with the district nurse, and me, you, and the district nurse, and we can have that conversation of what that looks like. Because I would rather have her tell you the information of what that looks like as a parent than me. So anytime we want to make that happen, let's do it. A few important dates. September 2nd, next Thursday is our next town hall. And as soon as like questions are done and you guys are like, man, I'm sick of the town hall. I'm good. Let's get our kids back. We're going to be done with town halls. But for the first couple of weeks, I'd like to make sure that you feel good about everything, that your questions are answered. So we're going to have another one next week, same time, 7 o'clock. And if you have questions as this week goes, just throw them to me and I'll answer them next week, or I'll probably just call you and answer it right then, and go from there. So first day of school is a week from Tuesday, September 7th. And that's when our volleyball starts. And Janie, I don't know if you want to say anything about that, but we encourage our kids.
Why does it say 8 a.m.? I think we missed that today. First day of school, 7:45.
We did miss that. It's 7:45.
Oopsie. Don't come at 8. Come at 7:45.
Yeah, because you'll miss morning circle. We don't want that. So co-ed volleyball, Janie, do you want to say anything about that?
Just the main thing is to get their physicals in. I know some people have had a hard time getting appointments in time. I do believe that Dr. Orr's office will do a low-cost sports physical. If you have a hard time getting into your own doctor, that might be an option, but that's the most important. No practice without a physical.
Yeah, I think it's $50 physical, and you got to have your permission slip in. But it's an awesome opportunity for our 6th or 8th graders. We didn't have it last year, and we know that when students participate after school and after school activities, their academics increase. And so the more that we can get them out doing things after school, the better. So Janie, thanks for taking that on this year. And
it's
Partum joins with Evergreen, and so we'll have probably a few Evergreen students on that team as well, and they'll shuttle over so they can start practice. Practice times. Do you want to talk at all about that?
Dawn sent out information, but it's after school 2:30 to 4. Pretty low key. Sounds like it'll be a great group of kids this year.
Awesome.
Most games are Tuesday, Thursdays, I believe, and they start at 4.
Okay. Picture day's the 27th. That's the day, the night before we give them the bath. They wake up, we comb their hair. They come in a little more sparkly that day. So that's always nice to see those kids walk in, and you know, you can tell they're feeling a little better about themselves. They have this shirt on they've never worn in their life. It's got a collar on it. You know, it's a fun day. And so we'll have a retake day, but that's picture day. So just kind of put that in the back. And then our first early release is September 20th. And that's a 12:15 release that day. I know they're kind of funky times, but 12:15 will be our early release time all year. And then we get the homecoming parade back this year. I really missed it last year. It's probably one of my favorite community events we do in Silverton. It's every school in the whole district. The high school ASB kind of puts it on. We'll have a float and march down the streets and have a lot of school pride that day. So that will happen on October 1st.
So can I say a little plug here?
Yeah.
So parents, be thinking the theme this year is fairy tales. So we typically have a float, and we're going to need a parent to sort of spearhead that. And we've done things like, I think Jeff Roth did a tractor and a trailer. Jody Howry has led several years. Ben Johnston has been involved. We've had a boat that we've ridden in, but we really need a parent to sort of say, I'm going to be the leader of this. So if you feel passionate about the homecoming parade, let me know, and we'll talk. Or if you have any great ideas too.
Thank you for that. Yeah, fairy tales. And I think the high school has already gotten some picks, so we can give you all the information on that and get moving there. And then I will stop sharing my screen so we have a little time for any other questions. I know you guys, we're a small enough group. If you just want to unmute and ask or talk, that's fine too. If there are some in the chat, if Shauna or Lisa wants to read those, and we can.
Sure. There was one at the very top about the microwaves when we touched on that if the lunch program comes, everything's heated or not heated as it should be, and cold lunches from home. Why are we not having microwaves this year?
Well, we're in the same situation as last year, just with probably COVID ramped up as much as it's ever been. And we're trying to limit touches and spaces and all kids using similar items. And so we've been asked across the district to not have microwaves during lunch being used for lunches.
Okay. Another question was, if the computers are having to go back and forth each day, but we're not using them at home, is there going to be something protective to put them in so they don't get ruined?
We've talked about that, and there might be some funds that we can try to protect those and find cases for those. I know that that's been a discussion already. And so, yeah, like a little, there's a lot of nice little things that we can use for those going back and forth. So we'll look at that and look at our hefty school budget to see what that looks like, if we can purchase those for the kiddos to make sure that those are safe. But I agree, there's going to be some damage, no way around it.
Yeah.
Can I ask about the computers too, real quick, since we're on that task, whatever? Edgar, so in your presentation, it said that chargers will stay at home, right? Last year, Edgar's computer did not run at all without the charger. Like, a minute you plug the charger out, it stopped working. So will they be chargers at school too, or not?
There will be, yeah. We'll have charging stations in every classroom, and if we understand, a lot of those computers have been traded out for brand new, but we will have chargers at school.
And Jamie, another question was, if we're not using them at home, then why is it necessary to send them back and forth? And
I
you talked
know.
about that.
I have the same question. We do. I think we do as a school as well. It's a K-12 decision, and we're all unified in that across the district this year. And that's just kind of where the district has fallen this year with COVID and quarantines. And again, it doesn't have to come out of the bag. And I understand it's a little bit of a hassle, and some of you don't want them at home. I get all sides of that. But and as we go, if things change, maybe we're able to say, hey, we'll just keep them at the school. But to start, all schools are sending them home.
Okay. Another question was about our after-school program, which we were not able to have last year due to COVID and distance learning. I have not heard from Emmanuel Bible Church or from Mindy. She usually reaches out to us and lets us know if that's something that their volunteers are going to be able to do, and if their facility is going to be able to handle it. In the past, it's been on Mondays right after school. And it came across my mind today to actually reach out to her and say, hey, are we happy? So if you guys can be patient, I will be looking into that this week and find out if that's something.
Typically, it doesn't start typically until October, I think. In the past, she's started it in October and stopped, April or so.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
I would say that I would lean towards it not happening this year, but that's not a confirmation.
We'll verify it and then put that out. It wasn't included in your parent letter that went home today either, which is why it came up to my mind. I'm like, we need to look into that.
So Mindy's looking on her way to retire out. So that's probably the big reason why.
She's served us well for many, many years and has a heart for all the kids and students at Partum. So that would be a bummer, but understandable. First day of school morning circles, students only, or can families come? That is actually a question answered in the parent letter that went out today. You guys will be getting in your mailbox tomorrow or Saturday. And as we have in the past, first day of school, parents, students, everybody gather around the basketball court, as far as I understand. Is that how we're doing it? Because it's outside. Wear your masks. Maybe, I don't know.
Weather permitting,
Yeah,
let's hope it doesn't rain. Let's hope that's not the day we get the rain.
That's true.
Yeah, we want that to happen for sure. So all parents and students are definitely welcome.
So with that being said, will there be like the craft day where parents can come in and help? My daughter was asking about that weeks ago.
That's in December. Maybe that would be something to look forward to.
We don't know. We're looking at we don't know. But probably no volunteers for a while. But if it all went away, yes, we love craft day.
looks like someone added on here that you can get a Chromebook sleeve for $10 on Amazon.
Yeah, I believe that's right about right. And there's some good iPad ones fairly cheap too that I think would suffice. So
And I'm hoping they'll just have them in their backpacks. They won't have a lot of other stuff in their backpacks. I wouldn't think. Anyway, from my room, they won't. So that would be great.
well, as the questions come in this week, please send them my way and I can answer them next week. I don't, if there's any more, we could, if you want to stay on and you have more individual, that is great. But just know that you can call the school, you can contact me anytime. Our staff is available for you at any point. And again, I'm looking forward to the school year and it's a privilege to be at Partum. And I look forward to meeting you guys in person rather than this way, but
Will there be a bus that would take our kindergartners to Central Howell this year? I believe they start at 8 o'clock.
I've heard that there is. That's something that the district does provide because it's because our schools both have kindergarten down there. So in the past they've done that, but we can look into that. Sure.
I had a question.
Shauna, can we get back to them tomorrow on that? Can we make that call and let them know? Okay, awesome.
I have a question, quick question. And
Go.
you guys may have already answered it. I had to try to figure out how to unmute myself. Is there a school supply drop-off day, or are we just dropping it all off on the same first day?
Lisa, do you want to answer that one? Did you hear that?
I did hear that. Typically, yeah, they all come in with a big bag of stuff, and but I'm having some conferences, and if people want to just bring it, then that's great. Or the staff will be around, and so I suppose if you just popped by with it, or you just sent it. I know for my room in particular, kids do not need a lot of supplies this year. We've got almost everything, so it's pretty slim. But I can't speak for big room or little room.
We got a whole list, and that was from just last year that got sent home. Are we still going by that list, or are we getting a new list?
Who am I talking to? Who is? I just see a
Liz
phone
Ginger.
number. Pardon
Liz
me?
Ginger.
Oh, okay.
Liz Ginger.
Yeah. You might talk to Mrs. Bukite, because I think I sent letters home with my people that we're paring it down a little bit, but she may want you to bring all that stuff, and you'll probably, if you just want to email her, she would probably let you know a good time to do it.
Okay, I bought it all, so it's coming.
Awesome. I'm sure she'll love to see it coming in.
Thank you.
School supply shopping is the best. All right. Any
Amazon.
other questions?
All Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, we will let you all go tonight. Thank you all for being here and being a part of our first town hall. And again, look forward to the school year. So have a great rest of the week.